WallStreetWindow.com. Gold, silver, the stock market. WallStreetWindow.com. Perhaps you're invested deeply. Perhaps you're not in deep enough. Maybe you're thinking about getting started. WallStreetWindow.com. Michael Swanson, the brilliant author of The War State, understood these trends professionally for many years, and now he gives you the benefit of his knowledge. WallStreetWindow.com. Go there now. Go there now. Go there now.
GoChili.com.
Right.
The views expressed by callers, co-hosts, or anyone else who happens to get on the air at Ocelli.com do not necessarily reflect the views of Ocelli.com or Chuck Ocelli, and we are not responsible for any stupidity which might ensue. Thank you.
Nuclear holocaust. You know what uranium is, right? This thing called nuclear weapons and other things, like lots of... You know what uranium is, right? Bad things. Things are done with uranium, including some bad things. Nuclear holocaust. You know what uranium is, right? I've been briefed. Nuclear holocaust. Nuclear holocaust. You know what uranium is, right?
It's Superman.
This thing called nuclear weapons and other things, like lots of... You know what uranium is, right? Bad things. Things are done with uranium, including some bad things. Nuclear holocaust. Nuclear holocaust. Nuclear holocaust. Nuclear holocaust. Nuclear holocaust.
Do you like history, real history, that you were never taught in schools? Why?
The Vietnam War, Nuclear Bombs and Nation Building in Southeast Asia, by author Mike Swanson, with new documentation never seen before that'll open your eyes to events that led up to this. Why? The Vietnam War, Nuclear Bombs and Nation Building in Southeast Asia, 1945 through 1961. Get your copy today at Amazon.com. Why? The Vietnam War, by author Mike Swanson.
From the ashes, reborn chaotically,
Hey, there we go. So I'm breaking into the commercial and I'm speaking to you as the Uncle Show is about ready to go live to let you know that I did put a little special offer in the chat room because somebody made a challenge to me. And I'll tell you what, if you want to make a donation and you haven't signed up recently for the Ocelli Archives emails once a month as part of the as part of your membership, you do so tonight. I'll do that. And for either 50 or 75 bucks, if you read in the chat, that'll cover you for the whole year. And you'll get those 5,000 podcasts emailed to you in monthly installments. So there it is. It's in the chat room if you want to check it out. And if you've already signed up and you want something else, there's an alternative. Go ahead and read up on it in the chat because I could certainly use a little help. And this time of the month, I'm kind of broke and definitely could use your help. So you drop it in. Even if you're already a member, I'll figure out a way to send you some other material that you don't already have coming. So I've got a ton of stuff that's going out, MP3s, archive stuff, special shows, and things that were not available to other people until very recently. And you want to be on that list? You can join all the way tonight until 4 a.m. Eastern at a discount, okay? So there you go. The details are in the live chat at Ocelli.com. So without any further ado, I'm going to return back to the regular live stream and the music you were listening to for a moment or so until we go live with Uncle the Broadcast. Gonna
Revelation through conversation.
Warning, 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 warning. This is Cronenberged broadcast. Code red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and hide me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Podcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And it's 333. Hey, we're getting up there, people. We're getting up there. What we got? A wash down. Who's washing? Oh, there's a click. Oh, our chat room. What do we got in the chat room there now? Let's see who we have.
We're looking at the...
Funny accidents? Are you there? I want you calling on the telephone.
Right.
I haven't seen creative accents in...
What do you mean don't hear them, man? I hear noises in there.
He's been busy for a while.
Crazy accidents in a bit. We haven't seen crazy accidents. We do have open phone lines, and we have an excited crowd.
Who's
Sorry.
that? That sound like somebody.
Excited crowd and applause.
Must be reading the signs. You guys are reading the signs?
They're reading the signs.
Don't you see it coming?
The applause sign that's over Uncle's head that is only Uncle sees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I don't see anybody.
You don't see it. I see it because it's my show, not your show.
Oh, gosh.
You had your show already last hour.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I don't see anybody in the chat at least our live stream. Oh, wait. There's Electric Daz. Morning from the UK, 4:13 a.m. over there. Okay.
Oh, man, he's already starting.
He's
He's
awake
starting
somehow.
early in the morning. This is Saturday morning for the man.
I wouldn't be awake if I were him. So thank you for crazy, Uncle. Yeah, thank you for being here, Daz. And then we have the Ocelli chat. Lots of action going on over in that one.
What they do.
Phase Shifter. I see the Ford Freak.
Forward foot.
So Chuck has been active over at the Ocelli.com chat. So we're here. We're live on Friday. We're taking calls if you want to call in. 319-527-5016.
That is the number to call. Why talking to me?
Yes.
That's my number to call me.
Please call.
If you guys want to. All right. Who's just chatting back and forth?
There's a lot of noise. A lot of sound.
I hear a bouncing sound. It's keep going nuts back and forth.
Indeed.
Look like a phone.
Is the button still sticking, Chuck?
Something's sticking.
Yeah, some buttons are sticky, but I think I might have resolved the issue, hopefully.
So there's just random sound effects going on, Uncle.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm hearing. I guess it's going through my ears, and I can hear that.
Okay,
There he goes again.
So now Ray the Ford Freak has moved over to the Twitch chat as well as the Ocelli chat, and he's saying, "Hey, Uncle and Aaron and Daz, it's 12:13 a.m. over there in Western Australia."
12:13.
Yeah.
Here
Oh, we got
comes
a call.
Jimmy. Hello, Jim. You're on there. I know who this is.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Hello. You're on
Yeah,
there.
he got me.
Oh,
Uncle
nice.
got me. He
See,
knew
I
it
know it
was.
was you.
I don't know how you did that.
I have brain surge to know this guy when he calls.
Brain
He's
surge.
either usually the first one on it, or maybe the second to the end. But he's usually the first one.
I've noticed
See,
that
I'm
sometimes.
noticing that. Well, too many of you boys couldn't make it, man. Yeah, but hope next year.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, that first half, they were ahead like 17 points.
But how did they blow a game like that? That's my thinking. How did they blow the game so?
That's what that's what I'm asking you, Uncle. I'm out. I've racked my brains. I don't understand how you lose like that.
Goff isn't like that. Goff has been playing with us for a longer time and then went over to you guys to get you there, and he did get you there, but then he sort of screwed it up in a way.
It wasn't Goff's fault. That loss was not his fault.
Well, didn't he have a
That
pick?
that
ended with a pick, didn't it?
That was the coach's fault there. I know that.
It was the coach's fault.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it's about other things, but I don't know. But
his name? I can't. I think I'm super tired today because I'm having trouble remembering just basic stuff. Yeah. What is the name of the coach of the Lions, Jimmy?
Jimmy would know.
Yeah, Dan Campbell is the problem.
Campbell, that's the one. That's him. Yep. Campbell.
He's a good coach, but he made some terrible decisions in that championship game. I don't know what was going on.
You know, in the terms of gambling, when someone goes full tilt, what it means.
Oh, they're gambling and they're taking like the most extreme risks no matter what. They just go for it.
He said that on his talk show.
They'll just keep going they'll just keep going in the same direction right till they're broke. And that's the way he was in the fourth quarter. He took over from the coordinator, the offensive coordinator. And he kept going for it. He kept going for it. And there's a couple times he should have kicked it, took the 3 points.
That's That's what we were saying. Take the 3. Forget about the 4th down.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been closer, even though he might have won.
There were 2 chances to do it. If he would have gotten just one of them, he would have won. Yeah.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So that could have happened, but that.
So for the listeners in India and the UK, which we have live tonight, they're talking football and not the kind of football you would call football. Just so you.
It's it's a different kind. I know what kind they're talking about.
Yeah,
I know the kind he's thinking. What they're doing, they're thinking about.
And let the listeners in Australia, England, and India is the unusual one on the list here, know that we're not talking about the kind of football that you would call football.
Yeah.
Or,
I know.
There's something they call footy or something. I think.
Yeah, I've heard them call it footy. Yeah, they do call it that.
It's more like rugby. It's not soccer, though. It's something else. Maybe Ray can help us out with that. Let us know what is footy, Ray, as opposed to football.
Yeah.
Which is not the American football we're talking about here. Recruiting the Detroit Lions and all this. What is that, Ray? Help us out in the chat and tell us, what is footy in Australia?
Yeah, that's good.
We need to know. We need to know that here in America because we're clueless.
Well, what I thought, let's start to talk about what? What are we talking about here tonight?
Oh,
you guys have answers? Give out the answers.
Ray just said that Aussie rule footy is played without padding. So it's played without padding.
Right.
That isn't a football game, then.
What's football without the pads, is it?
Yeah, no, it ain't a football game.
No.
Hey, did you get numbers, by the way? Because also we have a listener in Germany that just joined us.
Oh.
Just letting Uncle know all the internationals. But if you're international, you're better off reaching out to Charles.Ocelli on Skype. Yep. Send me a text message and I'll call you into the show. But did you give out the number, Aaron?
I gave out the number, but you're right, especially given our friend in the fatherland is listening. So if you have Skype, you may come onto the show no matter where you are. If you can do that by typing a message to Chuck. He is Charles.Ocelli on Skype.
And I believe it's cheaper that way for that person.
Yeah. It should be free for the Skype. Free. So just type Chuck a message. He'll bring you on. Or call 319-527-5016. Yes, please come on the show.
Yes, and you can be on just like Jimmy James is. And with that, I'm going to shut up because I got to step away from the microphone for a few minutes. Anyway, so you guys are on your own and you're stuck with Jimmy James till I come back. Okay.
Oh, boy. Yeah. What will we do, Uncle?
What's been happening on Jimmy James? Well, other than that.
Well, I got a couple hearing aids.
Oh, somebody's got a hearing aid. That's something in this house only one person has, but two more people need.
2 more people need?
Yes.
Are you one of those
and your
people?
Wife.
Me and my wife?
Yes.
I was thinking maybe you'd
your wife.
She can't hear anything.
She can't hear nothing.
Really?
Yeah,
she needs AIDS already at this age?
Yeah,
that's bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if she needs it.
Well, because I ask one thing and I get the other. We had a discussion. Let me explain this right, Jimmy. We had a discussion at the dinner table.
Oh, God.
Here we go. We might as well talk about something.
Okay.
And this is the only thing I can think of right now.
Okay, well.
I said I wanted Chinese food.
Uh-huh.
And she said she didn't hear me.
Uh-huh.
Plain and simple said that. And
it became quite the
conversation at dinner table.
conversation. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
did you want Chinese or did you not?
Yeah, and they said, what you want? And I told her. That just don't make sense for some of these people.
Jimmy, did you have a good dinner tonight?
Did you have a good dinner?
I bet in China they don't call China food China food.
No.
One would imagine they don't. Yeah, they probably just call it food, right? That's what I would guess.
Yeah. I would think
But
so.
I don't know for sure. I'm not there right now.
Have you watched my Saturday specials?
Ooh.
Or the movies?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Have you seen those, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Well, right now I gotta do all my internet stuff on my phone, which I'm not real good with these phones. So until I get my laptop going,
Oh, you don't have your laptop on.
me finding stuff it's kind of rough.
Oh. So you mean you don't have it sort of set up? You're saying.
Right. I don't have my laptop set up, so I'm doing everything through my cell phone. I mean, when I get
to
stuff
me. Well, when you ever do get it set up, I'll have on Saturday morning, you can drop in or call in or
Yes.
just go on the chat.
VHS watch party with
Yeah,
Uncle.
go and watch party with me.
We do that Saturday morning.
And I do that on Saturday morning.
Yep.
So you can see them.
We should be back tomorrow morning with more VHS tapes.
So we're having more coming.
What was the last film you watched?
That long one. What was the name of it?
We watched The Stranger, which
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
The
film
Stranger.
by Orson Welles. We watched the whole thing. It was longer than I thought it might have been, actually. But
That
it was
was-
good. It was an old black and white film noir. It was cool.
I thought it was going to get pretty high up, but there was things in there that I didn't take a full effect of making it over. There's something was missing. I don't know what.
You didn't give it a very high rating, Uncle.
That's
Yeah, you
what
didn't
I
care for it.
I don't, because usually I like those.
I thought it was a pretty good film. Yeah, we still have it up. It's up on YouTube now. If you want to go back and watch it, it's
It's on the YouTube right now.
So
Want to see it?
go check it out. We have all our old episodes of that, and any live stream we do. We have the old gaming shows up still. But
Are we gonna do those gaming things anymore?
we might. I'm trying to, Uncle. We need to build an audience. I don't know quite how to do that, but the one thing I know how to do is just keep making these shows. But to get large amounts of people watching is the question. But I always feel like we can, and we're on the edge of that, and I don't want to stop making the shows. So we'll make them for their own sake, but I want to bring back the gaming show when maybe if we can get the audience at a little more capacity so that more people are watching them and we can do more engagement with the audience while we're doing it. But I'm loving the VHS Saturdays just as a fun thing. I want to keep doing those for a while now.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's okay. I get a kick of laughing at these things sometimes.
We got some good tapes here in the waiting. These are the choices that we'll have to choose from. Tomorrow we can either watch this Tai Chi for Health video. We could watch Tai Chi, Tai Bo, or the Three Stooges we might watch. So we've got those three tapes lying in wait. So it's going to be one of those that we end up watching. Yeah. Or maybe multiples.
Gee, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. You got the Tybo, the Woobo, or the Three Stooges. I know which one I'd be picking.
Three Stooges? I was thinking that.
Three Stooges. Yeah, I mean...
I'm tempted to get that one soon, but I got to get these Chinese things out of my way.
Just like you didn't have Chinese food at dinner tonight, Uncle. Maybe we could watch a certain tape and it will satiate.
Tape on this tape thing. Maybe now we have something better than not eating. Maybe watching something.
Your unstoppable appetite for all things.
Well, the appetite. That's what's happening, I guess.
I hope you guys get some of those video magazines. Do you guys remember that they used to make video, what they called video magazines back in the VHS days?
Yeah, I used to subscribe to 411 Video Magazine, 411 VM, which was a skateboarding specific video magazine, and that thing was awesome.
Why don't we go back to them?
If I find one of those at the thrift store, you better believe I will buy it and we will watch it on the show. I haven't found one yet, but if I do, I'm picking that up. That was the video magazine I know, Chuck, but I'm sure that there were a ton others. What other ones were there?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the name of my favorite one actually was. I'm drawing a blank at the moment and it sucks because I know I spent a lot of money, and a couple of times I even went and got them from the video store for rental and taped them myself. Oh, Hard and Heavy, that's the name of it. It was a magazine called Hard and Heavy. It was a heavy metal magazine.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Then there was some sort of sci-fi or not sci-fi exactly, but like a perfect companion to Fangoria.
Okay.
It's like a magazine like horror movies and special effects, like crazy, I think they might have been the first people to come up with the idea of Cronenbergs. You know what a Cronenberg is, right?
I know David Cronenberg. I'm not sure what a Cronenberg is. What is that?
A Cronenberg is a general description for like a body horror monster. Like, if you remember, like John Carpenter's The Thing, where the guy they hit him with the flamethrower and his head is burned off and it sags off, and then it's out spider legs and the head crawls away. Remember that?
Okay. Yes.
But that would be a Cronenberg. Or when you see people like totally twisted, like into weird deformed piles.
Yes. Yeah. That was quite popular in those old horror movies like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually that up real fast and see if there's like an online definition for it somewhere. But I know that used to be a phrase. It's a Cronenberg or a Cronenberg monster.
I'm guessing they probably got that from David Cronenberg. He has films where those things were in them. I didn't know that he was like kind of, I don't know if he even is like the guy credited with like the creation of that as a trope, or I don't know what's going on. I would assume that's why they named it after him, right?
Yeah, that's let's see, the artist. Okay, well, here we go from Wikipedia, unfortunately, but from Wikipedia it says body horror or biological horror is a subgenre of horror that showcases grotesque or psychologically disturbing violations of the human body or to any other, creature. I didn't mean to belch on your show. Sorry about that. Characteristics. Where's the Cronenberg mention of this though? That's what I got when I put in the word Cronenberg monster.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, David Cronenberg rules. I still haven't seen Scanners, though. I need to see Scanners.
You saw Scanners?
No. I feel bad about it. I want to see that. I've seen Videodrome, and I forget his other. I've seen a couple others, but I've never seen Scanners. Need to.
I'm really surprised.
Ain't that the one? Is that the one with young Julia Roberts?
I don't know.
I can't think of the. Let's see. If you look at the Substack, I'm trying to find this. The artist as monster, the cinema of David Cronenberg, but they describe him as A matter of fact, on a recent, a couple of seasons ago now, Rick and Morty, right? They described the whole world because they twisted people into these weird deformed monsters and the whole planet.
Okay.
They Cronenberged the universe.
Okay.
Like Cronenberged, like it's described as a what do you call it? A verb.
I mean, one of the more famous movies that did that was The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
I remember a fly from what's his name?
Remember that movie, Uncle?
Yeah, and they had the kid, and what's his name? Got man in his hand. Well, I'm gonna get you. Well, they ain't the film. And then they went going. My thing's looking down. I'm not getting my guitar straight. He lost it.
Interesting. That was The Fly?
Yeah, that's a fly.
Really?
Yeah.
The Brundle Fly?
That was
I can't
the
remember.
Fly. That was the fly. The guy was losing his He was losing his head, and then he started losing his hand.
Yeah, that's the Fly.
That's the Fly.
Okay, it's been a while since I've seen it.
But the point was, out of he was trying to get his parents to like each other, to get it together. And the point was that little guy that he was punched him all the time, and he kept saying, Mr. Min, Mr. this and this, and did the wax the car and all this.
Maybe that's part 2, The Fly 2, where it's like
I remember
back to
Goldblum's character trying to fight for the love of a woman, right?
Back to the Future, Uncle, right?
Back to the Future. Oh,
that was the Fly.
That was the Fly?
Mm-hmm. He was the Fly.
McFly.
Marty
yes.
McFly. Marty McFly. There you go.
Yeah. There's a Cronenberg in that movie.
That's
somewhere.
Cronenberg.
Yeah. Okay.
He's doing word association here. See, we're talking about the movie where the guy turns into the Fly.
What?
Which I know you saw one of those at least. Either.
Yeah. I saw that one too.
Because there was an original black and white The Fly, which was
was black and white originally, but it was Vincent Price.
Yeah. That's who
there's
it was.
The Fly, there's Return of the Fly, which the Misfits made a song about, and then there's like the remake of The Fly from the 80s with Goldblum, which I think is the most famous out of all of them. And that has that Cronenberg style transformation where, slowly and steadily Goldblum becomes less a man and more of a twisted genetic freak.
You mentioned Brundlefly, which is how he identifies himself when he's, making recordings for science. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Brundlefly. Yep.
Brundlefly. Yeah. But he was a fly.
Yes. He makes
the fly.
Yes.
Uncle, speaking of McFly, which one's your favorite? My favorite's part 2, where he's Biff owns the town and he's rich and he's got that big casino.
What? I haven't seen number 2.
Part 1, 2. You don't remember 2 where they're in the future and Biff Tannen has that sports almanac and he's gambling?
I do remember, though. Fly guy, the driver got hit.
The driver got hit, okay.
Well, and he had to go back.
Oh, well, there's the third one where they go back to the Old West and they're in, they're like in, are they still in
Uncle is referencing the first Back to the Future because Marty falls out of the tree and gets hit by the car instead of George.
Okay. And it hits the bell, and they're trying to get the bell close to the thing.
That's all the first one, yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the part 2 or 3 of that movie, Uncle?
I might have to go back to him.
You've only seen the first one, maybe.
I might have to go back to him.
I bet he's seen him and he's mixed them up. Do you remember when they went to the Old West, Uncle, and he's actually back in the Old West, and now it's a gunslinger?
That's right. He was doing something about the shooting. I do remember the fighting and the cowboys.
Yeah, and they show it at the end of part 2. They show you ZZ Top in the Old West with the guitar and spin their guitars.
Oh.
In the Old West, because they're kind of dressed with the cowboy hats and they're just dusty looking.
Right. The guy was going down with the hand thumb going this way.
They have to get the train becomes a time machine. They have to get it up to 88 miles an hour.
Yes. No.
Remember that, the train?
Now I'm starting to remember something.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the train. I remember the train. Yeah.
Bad Dog Manners. That's part 3. Okay. But the part 2 that Aaron was just talking about is where he goes, into the future and he tries to, fix things and it's your kids, Morty. And he tries to fix stuff with his kids. And then he ends up going back to what he thinks is 1985. And it turns out what Jimmy James was talking about, that Biff, the bad guy, who's the bad guy in every movie, right? He's
the guy that did they cleaned the car.
It's either the descendant of or antecedent of Biff Tannen from present day Back to the Future reality.
Maybe I have to go back to number 2. I know number 3 and number 1. Now that you got me with the train, I might have to go back to 2.
Yeah.
To look at that over.
It's worth a watch.
To
doubt.
watch to
It's-
see that one.
It's an odd one. It's a dark. As the second in a trilogy usually is. It's the darkest of the three. Yeah.
That's the marathon. You got it. You see, there's a VHS marathon for you right there. Is Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned with copyright issues. I don't want to get like huge flags on the accounts or get like an abundance of ads on things. I kind of went with the Orson Welles film because I think it might be free of copyright issues. I'm not 100% on that, but I got the feeling it was. But I took a chance on that one. We'll see.
Which Orson Welles?
It was The Stranger from 1946. It was a post-war movie. It deals with World War II and the Nazis and all that. Actually, it was like 47, 46, 48, one of those years like that. So it's pretty old. Early Orson Welles. He was a young guy then.
I just got fired a suggestion for, and I don't know if this is true, but it used to be true at one point, is that Night of the Living Dead had like no copyright restriction at all. Like
Yes. Well, our buddy Count Pupper has, he did that marathon of watching a bunch of them on Twitch. I watched a bit of that. So he did that. I know that was the copyright thing. I don't know. I have a copy of the Blues Brothers here, which I'd love to watch and do the show of, but I'm a little nervous to watch. Yeah, we got the Blues Brothers right here, but I'm a little nervous to put that one in because of the copyright.
Oh, yes,
stuff.
that one. I like to see that one.
I love this movie, by the way.
I want to. That's the one I want to see too.
Good movie.
Yeah, definitely you'll get hit for copyright when you all the musical parts in the blue. Everybody forgets about the musical parts of the Blues Brothers.
Really?
But,
I don't. That's a big part of it.
yeah.
I didn't see
How can
that
you forget?
When did that come out?
I don't know.
I think 80 or 81. Let me see. 1980. Haha.
Yeah, but it's like
I have to see that one.
Aretha Franklin literally sang in that movie, and they're like, "No." I'm like, "Yes, she did."
What? They don't remember that?
Yeah, I had this conversation a couple of times this year alone.
What in the hell? James Brown is in it. Aretha Franklin's in it.
Oh, yeah,
Cab
they're all in
Calloway
it.
is in it.
They're all in that.
Or is those guys singing? You know, like they remember Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi singing.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
The other performances, like you just said, James Brown. I'm like, how do you not remember James Brown singing there? Oh no, I just remember the fat guy and Dan Aykroyd.
The fat guy.
And
This is what some guy said to me is I saw that movie years ago, and I know that it was just those guys singing. He remembered they sang country music at one point. I said, well, not really. They sang the theme to Rawhide, and a couple of dumb.
But it was a bit. It was a funny bit that they did that. Yeah, that was all part of the joke that they sang that. I love that that version of Rawhide.
And they stole the gig from oh my God, the guys who were like clearly like old school country, like before they modernized country music. We're actually whatever the name of the band was. Remember, he says, we're
the good old Blues Brothers. Because it was the Good Old Boys. Or
Good Old Boys and the Blues
We're the
Brothers.
Good Old Blues Brothers boys from Chicago, Illinois.
Something like that.
And they're getting bottles thrown at them, and the chicken wire, they're breaking on them the whole time. And
which used to be a real thing in blues and country bars. But
I'm curious.
you're talking about the chicken wire like that?
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I believe it.
Now I'm curious about that tape. Now you get me thinking about it.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah.
I'm gonna see.
Ray Charles is in that movie.
We might put that on tomorrow. Now that you got me thinking about it.
Well, I don't. Uncle, no.
Why not?
I think it's best if we don't. Let's keep watching Tai Chi for beginners and things like that we know that we're not going to get in trouble for.
Why? Well, this is not in trouble?
Well, I'm afraid we're going to get like hit on our channels, and they'll take our channels down or something, or they'll just pepper them with ads, and then something like that.
What about Bruce Lee movie other than Enter the Dragon? You won't get in trouble for watching those.
Really?
What are those?
Okay, well, I'll keep my
eye out for those then.
I'll keep my eye out for them if that's the case.
Well,
definitely
I know what your problem is then.
What?
I know what you're going through here.
Uh-huh.
Getting these tapes. First of all, let's make sure they're legal to get them in this machine.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just now saying about the Blues Brothers here. You're afraid to use that tape to try to watch a good show. That probably would be a good show.
Oh, it'd be great to watch.
And now you're saying it's scary.
It's scary.
I mean,
it's scary.
You've got to check that out there, Sidekick.
It's a scary
and
movie.
When you look at your tapes, make sure you're able to, we can get into them and we have no problem.
Well,
but thing, Uncle, Aaron's trying to get stuff that's good and also trying to get stuff that look, it's a good movie, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get away with putting it on YouTube. That's the trouble with this whole copyright, storm that they put us under on YouTube. Like I remember a long time ago, if you made certain noises on YouTube accidentally, they would turn around and hit you with a copyright strike because you made a similar noise to somebody else. I mean, it was that bad at one point, but now they've cracked down on everything so much. It's all about the money. They don't want to lose money, you see. So,
if we could talk to some of these people that make the movie, just as I say,
good luck.
And could we borrow your talk on that? Like, for the example, there's Bloom Brothers.
You want to try to get the rights to this?
To the rights to at least to watch it.
Well, look, listen.
There's Uncle, let me explain something to you real fast. You're going to hate this, but let me tell you, it's going to make you crazy. You could talk to the guy who filmed the movie. You could talk to the guy whose name is on the movie, the actors and everything else, and ask them, and they'll give you permission. The guy who wrote the movie, even, it doesn't matter. No. It's not them. Just like the musicians. I've had musicians on there like, you got to be able to play my song on your show. And I do it and I play their song on my show, even though I'm promoting that musician. And a publishing company turns around and blocks their song on my YouTube. That's it.
Well, then we got to go straight to them.
You got to go to the lawyers, Uncle.
Oh, we got to do all that mess?
Yes.
Why are we playing these then?
Well, listen. Look.
And then here's the problem. You could buy anything, right? But like, if I wanted to use a Megadeth song at the beginning of my show, I could do it.
Yeah.
But you're talking $5,000, Uncle, for a couple of years worth of being able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
$5,000 just to use a theme song?
Oh yeah.
One song.
Yeah, right. It'd go crazy. I'm already going crazy with this noise.
I'm sure everybody remembers when I will mention this, but when you put a tape or any sort of video in its player, you press play, what's the first thing that pops on the screen? FBI warning.
FBI warnings.
Yeah.
They always that way, though.
Well, that's what we're talking about here. It's the same thing. The FBI could come after us.
See, I wish it was the FBI, because that was the thing. They could charge you back in the old days, and that's why you don't see those as much anymore, because that was the big scary thing. Nowadays, they literally catch it and crush it, and that's it. Like, they made it so you can't copy it. You try and play a song up there, either they take it over and they run all those ads on it, like Aaron said, so that they get some money from you, or they deny you being able to even use it. You can't even use their stuff.
This is actually, if you think about it a minute, go into a thrift store, Sidekick.
Yes.
Getting tapes.
Uh-huh.
What's the purpose us going in the store, getting tapes, and we can't have to listen to the tape if they have the law problem on them?
It's fine. I think that's
the thing that Sidekick is doing that's very cool, is that he's coming up with stuff that they're not going to bother you for. He's trying to find not only good stuff, but stuff that they won't bother you for. See, Uncle, that's the double trick here. And that's why it's not that easy to find stuff that you're going to be able to use for this. Oh. And that's fun. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, because it is. It's a pain in the neck, and it's like, you know what? I understand these guys want to get paid for their stuff, but when things are 50 years old, they already got paid. Come on. You know what I mean? It's all at some point, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. But if you want to use a video game, do it all day long. They let you do that.
Yeah, that is odd, isn't it? That is very interesting how video game media has made it a part of the culture and the legal framework that you do stream them. It's very fascinating to see that, actually. So
Well,
yeah, I don't
I
know.
think next time we go to the thrift store, I have to watch what you buy. I mean, this is what I have to watch him now. Now that I have this FBI stuff looking at, I have to see.
Yeah. You gotta be
I
careful.
mean, because
You gotta be
this
careful.
is getting to me, Chuck. I understand your point of thinking of how does something like this get involved with my party and then have FBI humans on a thing. And they're saying, you can't do it, and then this. And that's crazy.
Yep, that's it's all about copyright laws.
Copyright people.
Yeah.
Let us watch a movie without you copywriting.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the problem.
The podcasters demand this entertainment industry. You gotta change at some point here. Something's gotta give.
And them guys gotta give. And the people are right to watch a movie
Come on.
without having to this problem that everybody's talking
There
about.
must be an answer.
There has to be
There
something.
must be.
Yep. So this way, the only way it works is authorized podcast through the people that control the media. And what they say is, you know what? We'll let your podcast have it, but only the ones that they control and own actually have free access to it. You see?
Yeah. And Ray just sent me something about fair use, which is like a thing within copyright law. You can cite fair use, but that gets all of copyright law is like just one giant gray area, honestly.
Right.
That's
like
the problem.
That a few years ago, it used to be, look, if you're playing clips, you could play clips, and as long as you're making commentary about it, you have free use. You have open use.
The commentary you meaning is judging
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah. So if
Theoretically, play some clips and then talk about what you just watched, and that's acceptable.
That's what we were doing. But doing
yes.
it 1 to 10 deal.
yes, but there's always a but.
What's the split though?
It's a lot of things.
I like these butts. Don't even get the words out. We got the we want to watch something. Get it out and stop button.
Uncle.
I tired of this button stuff. My show.
It's exactly like Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee. Oh yeah, Pee Wee go crazy right now. He'd be pissed at you.
He said.
Agree. Yeah, me and Sidekick agree with you. You got to understand, though, it's not us, right? It's not us at all. Me and Sidekick, we absolutely agree with you. But here's the thing. When he's saying, okay, it's supposed to be fair use, but you know what's after that but? About 300 pages. I kid you not.
300 pages of what?
Rules.
Just rules and regulations. Can't watch a tape.
Get the specialty lawyers in, Uncle. You know what, Uncle? This is interesting.
This is very good that we're talking
Do
about
you
this
remember? I know that Chuck will remember Winston Conrad, who we've had on the show before. You remember?
Yes,
Winston?
I remember that name.
He is an attorney, and he actually has a specialty in this area. So he knows a bit about
I got
intellectual property. And
We
all
got
that.
a job to do.
Yeah.
You got another job to do.
Do I need to find him?
Find him about this. Exactly. You had the point.
Yeah.
Try to get him on my show or your show or something to have this thing solved.
That would be a good show.
Because that'd be our lawyer about doing this, trying to get these tapes to use.
So the last thing I'm going to say about this, Uncle, I want you to know something, is that Winston Conrad, years ago, he hasn't been on your show in like 5 years, all right?
Been a while.
5 years ago, Winston Conrad told us all, believe it or not, on Aaron's show, go back in the archives, that exactly the situation you're in right now was going to happen to everybody. Because back then, that fair use but wasn't 300 pages. It was only like 3 pages. And he said, you watch, what they're going to do is create so many different regulations across the map that you're not going to be able to do any of this anymore. Any of this stuff, any content you create, you're going to have to create it yourself. And you better watch what you use, because everything you use can be attached to one of these copyright laws where you're going to wind up having to pay somebody. And that's all there is to it. So he warned us about this on your show.
Yeah.
That this
How come you weren't listening to it? Now you are telling us to play these then.
Well,
now that's a point, Chuck. You just made a point for this.
Okay, see, I knew about all this stuff because when we first started. So yes, I told Aaron when we
he told you.
I said, Aaron, listen, everything that we do, as far as the intro, the outro, the stuff that we play during the breaks, all this stuff, we have to make it so there's no copyright claims on it. That was one of my conditions with starting this show. It's been so months ago. I said, Aaron, whatever it is you want to use, we have to use stuff that we know for certain has no copyright claim. That's why, and by the way, I could use those 10-gauge songs again. I miss those.
Yeah. Those don't have copyright.
They don't. I don't know what does and what doesn't now. Since we're talking not talking about this stuff.
And I play my own music on the network, right? All that music you hear stuff that I know I played or stuff that I am certain that the artist does not have a specific copyright thing out there, so that we're going to get hit from CD Baby and the publisher and Apple and everybody else was saying, look, either stop doing this or you're going to pay us a lot of money. So Aaron, we needed to set up the shows so that we could keep them all and not have these problems in the future. That was one of the conditions for starting the show. Remember, Aaron?
Yeah, no, I recall. And that's why we have our own theme song. We recorded our own theme song. We use that. It's ours. It's not.
Got it.
Yeah, we do that.
What else?
That I understand. Now that I understand.
It's an important part, Uncle.
Yeah. So this is one of these things that we've had to be careful about the whole way through. Otherwise, they'd be turning around. Let's just say, we use some song at the beginning of Uncle, even though you love the song. There might be a guy coming to us. Listen, you did 300 episodes with this song, so you owe us 300 times for this use.
Gosh.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't that great?
I see what you're talking about now.
You know what I mean? If the guy turned around and said, look, you owe us $10, 300 times, that's still a lot. Okay, we're going to be paying $3,000 for a piece of a song you wanted to use. So this is why we've always been careful about this stuff and not playing copywritten material on the podcast. That's why. Okay?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because, I don't want to take over the show. But I wanted Uncle to understand this because this is a very tricky thing that Sidekick has to do, to pick something that's not going to be a problem and that you guys can use for even these live streams.
You sure you know what you're doing, Sidekick, looking at these tapes?
I'm not entirely sure, but I try to be careful.
Nobody's perfect at this, Uncle. I'm going to tell you now, unless you're a lawyer, you're not perfect at this. But Aaron's doing a good job. I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah.
Okay?
And actually, it's part of my training. I went to school for media.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and this was back in the early aughts, as they now call them. And I was my instructors. They tell you look, you got to watch out for using copyrighted material. We would do, when you're taking a video class in school, there's a project. You always do a project like, make a music video, take a song, and put your own images to it. That's fine for a student project, but they would tell you hey, look, when you go out there and you make material, don't mess around with anything that's copyrighted because you'll get hit for it. And this was back then. So this was before, YouTube even existed. This has long been a thing, but then since the internet came along and really changed into what it is today, it has evolved. But yeah, I come from, I was instructed in this quite a while ago. And so it's always been something that I look out for.
Question I want to ask you now. Since you've been into this system and knew how to do the tapes, how would you know that it's not a copy?
Well, one of the things about it too is whether you yourself and your own media that you're making is bringing in any money to begin with. If you're bringing in money, then that's when the copyright owner will come after you. If you're making material, you're making media and using copyrighted material and you're not making any money, it's useless to come after you. But again, the game has changed a bit online where all it takes is view count. Actually, if you have large view counts on YouTube or whatever platform, and you're using copyrighted material, those view counts, the volume of traffic amounts to something now. And so it's just a different media sphere now. It works differently. Ooh. And just the automated policing of this the systems, these digital systems that can recognize and pick out copyright material on behalf of the copyright owner so that they may get paid. That was like something out of a sci-fi movie when I was learning how to make media back a couple decades ago, but now it's here. So it's weird now.
Yeah, the songs that we listen to, for example, on the radio, or on the phones or whatever, those are people's songs.
Yes.
That part I understand. You don't ever copy theirs. That is against the law, even trying to.
Well,
I mean, you can't even go near.
It's the same thing
But it's the same difference.
Visual, yeah.
Let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
It's the same difference as these tapes in the same boat like you're all talking about.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, it's weird. But I think if we watch certain videos, we'll be fine. And actually, I think the things that are less likely to have any issue with copyright actually are, in a way, more entertaining to watch than if we did even watch something like the Blues Brothers. I think if we ended up watching the Blues Brothers on VHS Watch Party, I think your and my commentary might be like not... It'd be less a part of the watch party than if we're watching some obscure exercise tape. It's going to be us talking over the exercise tape to make it funny, whereas a movie like The Blues Brothers or any big Hollywood movie is so engaging in and of itself that we just end up kind of watching it. And honestly, that kind of happened with the Orson Welles movie. I kind of got drawn into that and didn't talk as much as I would if we were watching one of these more weird
I noticed
things.
you weren't talking as much.
It was a good movie.
Watching that one.
Yeah, it was long too. So,
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's fun to watch tapes on the Saturday Uncle. We'll do it tomorrow. Press the button, everybody. Go over to YouTube and press the button.
Jimmy, what do you think about it? Hello? What happened to him?
Yeah, I agree that they got some real confusing policies and whatnot there.
Oh.
Used to be anything that was broadcast over TV. If you taped it, you could play it, do whatever. Same with radio.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but no.
To a degree, but then also, like, even the old football games would be like, this is a presentation of the National Football League. Any unauthorized reproduction is...
Well, that's
strictly
clearly
prohibited,
saying...
blah, blah, blah.
That's clearly saying on the TV right there.
Yeah.
That I could understand, because that's clearly on it saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they even add in the bravado. Even discussing the game is illegal or supposedly against the
Illegal.
policy.
What about the people?
They say that you aren't even allowed to discuss the games. So all I could say is whatever. I'll plead the first.
Then how come these other people are betting on them all the time? And turning around and betting back and forth.
Well, that's a whole nother can of worms, Uncle.
It is?
Because now you're getting into a giant sponsor of the NFL now.
That's a sponsor?
Well, yeah, the Vegas
I
and the
didn't
gambling,
realize.
all these weird gambling apps and stuff has become one of the major sponsors in football. And that's a whole interesting, it goes even down conspiracy lane for people too, quite a bit with that one. But we could spend shows and shows and shows talking about that alone. But yeah, it's interesting.
I didn't know. What did I know?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people complain it's like the death of football because of their marriage to these gambling things and blah, 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 blah. I don't know.
You know, this has been the first time that it's gone to Vegas.
Oh, yeah,
Football,
it's interesting.
The Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
They never had it gone to Super Bowl in Vegas.
True.
When did they now they're starting to come back and now they're saying, oh, now it's a gambling thing?
Yeah, it aligns to that. Yeah, it does align with that, doesn't it? So,
it aligns right to the front of it, saying, oh, yeah, he's gambling this and gambling the game. So why can't they go to Vegas and watch a Super Bowl?
I have noticed that there have been a lot of ads on TV and
Now that we're talking
news
about something.
stories in air quotes online or on TV saying about like, oh, the turnout in Vegas is huge. Everybody's come out to town to see
That's what I'm saying.
the game, and obviously not everybody's there with a ticket, but they're showing up anyway. It's a big ad for Las Vegas tourism, obviously, bare minimum.
I think what it is, it's again, like everybody's saying here, money.
Yeah.
It's the money involved of it. Money involved with it. That
Yeah.
they're saying, okay,
Clearly.
let's bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go and play that.
I heard a rumor that they already got, like, they're going to choreograph, like, a part in the fourth quarter where Taylor Swift's going to point at her belly and start rubbing it.
Oh, here we.
Oh, no. That stuff now?
Yes, the tail. That's a whole nother angle.
Oh, that's a
as well.
completely different story. You talking to his girlfriend and boyfriend down the field? You know what's going to happen to them two? Don't you know, Jimmy? You know what's going to happen to those two? I know what's going to
happen. She's with child. I heard she's going to mouth, I'm pregnant. And they're going to focus the whole fourth quarter on Taylor Swift and not even barely show the play.
Well, look.
You heard about that? You sure you heard that? That is tough. That is tough operation. I'm sitting here watching a football game, and then it's turning around and somebody's having a kid.
Sure, somebody's having a kid. Yeah, there we go.
That's
it's gonna be quite a game.
The last 5 minutes of the show is here. I always love
the This is something This is something to talk about.
Yeah, but I always love the last part of the NFL, Major League Baseball, whatever disclaimer that says any reproduction, rebroadcast, images, accounts, descriptions or accounts. I love that part of it. Descriptions or accounts. So basically, whenever you report on this, if you talk about the game, if you distribute the game, if you have any pictures from the game, you're not supposed to use them anywhere at all without the express written consent of the NFL, Major League Baseball, whatever.
Yep. Right.
You know what
says it right there.
You know how this ties back to our watch party, our VHS watch party, Uncle, is a couple of weeks ago we watched a sports highlights VHS tape, and none of the highlights were from professional league sports. They were all from college level or under.
Oh, that's true.
Because of this. That's why.
Wait a second. You're right. There wasn't no NFL.
Nope. No NFL, no NBA.
Yeah,
no MLB.
It was all college. That is true. I've noticed that.
It's because
the
of
last second one that we saw. Was it the second?
Yeah, I forget what the title of the video was, but it was
Sports is something.
Yeah,
Sports is something, and we was sitting there, and it was all called college things. Mm-hmm. Nothing about the NFL.
Nope.
Maybe,
there were guys who ended up going to the NFL, but they were playing college.
Maybe there was a game in the NFL, but that was all. But didn't have much to say about it.
No, there was nothing. There was nothing from a clip from NFL, nothing from Major League Baseball, nothing from NHL, nothing from NBA. No. Some of it was high school games.
Most of it was
most
high
of it
school
college. But yeah, and some of it was some obscure stuff too.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
It was the same reason. So back then they made that tape with clips that they were able to get away with because they were.
That's right.
They were like public domain essentially.
Now I see. I understand now.
We're getting there.
Yeah. It's taking slow and figure it out.
Uncle, should we have Jimmy do a shout out? You want to do that?
Oh, it's time already.
I think we're about there.
See, I told you we get something done.
We got it.
Okay, Jimmy, who you got for a shout out? Hold on, Chuck.
I guess I'll shout out to the late Gaston Glock, who passed away at age 94. Over a month ago, but no one's ever mentioned it much. Mr. Glock, of course, founded his beautiful handgun, the Glock.
There you go.
Good man.
What it? Glock?
No one shoots like Gaston. I better be careful not to sing that, Uncle, or I'll get hit with a copyright violation.
Oh, on these things. I know you on these things.
We can draw Steamboat Willie, but we can't sing that song, Uncle. Do you have a shout out, Uncle?
That chicken man. Forget about him, too.
Chicken.
Now again. Oh. Shout out to all the people out in the United States that have been listening to me. Mm-hmm. Sure hope you come back next week. You'll be listening, or even if you want to try to call Chuck. Make it cheaper.
Do it. Yeah.
So that's a shout out to you.
And don't forget, everybody, to press the buttons on all of our social media. We got Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. They're all at Uncle Podcast. Also, you can find us on Twitch for the live stream. UncleThePodcast.com is the website. We're live on Ochelli.com, Ochelli Radio Network every Friday. What is it, Uncle?
Another thing that I have to mention. We haven't gotten it yet, but whenever we get the meatloaf, we're going to have a show with the meatloaf.
It's coming.
And it's coming.
Get ready.
And make sure, what you don't want to taste, Chuck. Sorry. To mix in.
Sauerkraut. Good.
I had tuna fish the other day, and I actually have a can of tuna today that I just got in my hands, and I'll tell you, I'm thinking of it and thinking of you and what I don't want to eat. So, that works. So no matter where you are, if you're listening to us right now, if you hear the sound of my voice, don't forget to smash that button, like, comment, and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
You'd say that.
Or whatever the hell it is they're calling it, if they haven't hijacked our copyrights yet.
Nobody can touch them.
Subscribe,
like you said.
Comment, like, subscribe. Smash that button. There you go.
Very good. Yeah, can't forget the button. It's very important.
Your turn to. What you shout out to?
Oh, I'm shouting out.
Well, I didn't hear yours.
Sure.
You don't even know.
I'd like to thank the Academy for their fleet of lawyers that they employ to go after anybody, any kind of scofflaws that try to rip off a good, honest industry doing good work that pays their people, and they wouldn't be able to pay anybody if crime ran rampant and intellectual property was not respected. How about that for law and order, Uncle?
Okay.
How's that for devil's advocate?
I don't know.
Woo-ha!
Bruce Brothers is getting to my thinking now.
Yeah, I know. It'd be fun.
Then you put it down.
Be with us tomorrow, Saturday. We'll watch something.
We'll watch something and we'll be on. So if everybody also wants to tune in and call in or look in, I should say look in.
Any of those,
the tapes will be on.
Bring us up for the week.
Watch party start on Twitch and all those?
We don't have a set time.
There isn't a set time because he goes on when he's ready.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like either morning or afternoon on Saturday, whenever we're able to actually make it to the computer. So just be watching on Uncle's YouTube, Twitch,
my YouTube will switch,
X channels, and it'll come on at some point early on a Saturday.
Well, there's our show 333. Bye bye. Boom boom. We got the music back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.